falls on me. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Reptile Shed podcast on the Show Me Reptile Network. And today we have a really cool episode. But before that, let's go ahead and get into the sponsorship video so we can jump right into this video and our guest. Let's roll this video.
What's Colubrid Fest?
Oh, they're cool videos. I like it.
You understand now?
Peace out, Pharrell. I'll see you there.
Colubrid Fest in September in Indiana. Yes, please. I cannot wait. I love colubrids, and I personally love the rat snakes and like Asian rat snakes. Those are awesome. But off subject. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our guest, which I have Arachnid Cat today, and let's go ahead and play her video right now. Cat, how's it
Hi.
going? Welcome to the show.
Hi, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. Where are you right now?
I am at the White Plains Reptile Expo in New York.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. You're at where?
I am at the White Plains Reptile Expo in New York.
Yay, that's so awesome. In New York. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm on the West Coast, so that's really far away from me.
Yeah, way across.
All right, so now your name and titles, you work with arachnids?
I do. I specialize in arachnophobia recovery, and I also breed a little of tarantulas, my own tarantulas, but I do breed local spiders at my home.
That's awesome. And the first thing you said, arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Therapy?
Yes. Yeah.
What is that? Explain that.
All right. So far, I've had 8 patients of 8 people that I've cured their fear of spiders. So I help them gradually help them get over the fear of spiders.
That's amazing. How cool. I do that
Yeah.
with snakes and other stuff, but not spiders too much.
Yeah.
That's
It.
cool. Okay. What got you started on spiders?
Okay. So yeah, it's a funny story. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Aliens, 1979 Aliens.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know the face hugger.
Yes.
All right, so I was 5 years old, and when I watched that movie, it just captivated me. The face hugger. I'm like, is that a spider? But then, as I got older, I was never afraid of anything, and so I would always pick up spiders from the floor, from the outside, and just bring them in. And then as I got older, I just kept like studying them, and then it just became my passion.
That's amazing. And what
Yeah.
has your passion turned into as of now?
Future breeder,
Future breeder?
tarantula.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. And then how
tarantula.
many species do you have right now?
I have 25 separate species, but in total, I have 25 tarantulas. Sorry, 57 tarantulas. 58, concluding today.
I'm sure you get more too by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What do you want to breed in the future with them?
So there's these 2 species that I really, really want to breed. The first one is called the Gramstola pulchra, the Brazilian black lab. It's pure black, so smooth, very soft. They call it the goth tarantula because it's
Okay.
so black. That one, and then the striped zebra knee. It's the Aphonopelma simani. They're so beautiful.
Those are the Costa Rican ones, right?
Yes, the Costa Rican ones. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
those. I think I had one before as I had an adult. It was a
Yeah.
pet.
I actually bought
Right.
one today. I couldn't resist.
What you did?
Yeah.
That's awesome. For future breeding?
Yep.
How do you know what
Yeah.
it is?
So it's a good chance. Like you can tell, you can vent sex it, and you can also look at the shape of the abdomen. You can almost, and like for an expert, to eye, you can kind of see if it's a male or female. But
Okay.
you do need like the shed, the molt, in order to tell whether it's a female or male. But as I look at it, I'm like, I got female vibes.
Got female vibes. And you said you can identify through a vent? A vent?
Yeah, so tarantulas have like a little slit. It's called the epigastric furrow on the underside of their abdomen. And in between, they have 4 book lungs. So in between those book lungs, you can see if there's like a slit, like a flap. And if there's like a little slip, it's a female. And if it's like a little tiny black dot, it's a male. That's like 90% of the chance. Like, it's sometimes like that. But for an
That's
expert, you
awesome.
can kind of know.
What's the earliest you can tell the sex of one?
The earliest. So eyeballing it, just the earliest about uh, 6 to 8 months. Yeah. So, but you would need a mic, like a magnifying glass to really tell. Like little slings, you can tell.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. Are you going to
Yeah.
work with any true spiders?
Yes, I really want to work with black widows, wolf spiders, and trapdoors.
That's awesome. Trapdoor spiders? I always see
Yeah,
those in like National Geographic and stuff.
I know. Yeah, they're hard to come by, but they're around.
That's awesome. I
Yes.
have a friend. I think you know Victor, right?
Yes, I love
Yeah.
Victor.
He was on a podcast recently. I saw him on one.
Yeah, 2 days
Uh,
ago with
yeah.
Steve.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, show me network. Okay. Yeah, I get to see him on this coming up weekend in
Oh, really?
Idaho. Yeah, excited. He's been over to my facility too. But I know him as like my main spider guy. So if I have any
Yep.
questions, I definitely go to him.
Yeah, I go to him for my huntsmans because he loves huntsmans, and I do
That,
too, like the Australian ones. Yeah,
that's
so
what I
I
was
took.
gonna bring up too, as a huntsman's, and he has the tattoos and everything of him.
Yes, I actually took a picture when he was with Steve. His huntsman, he has a huntsman tattoo right here, and the huntsman laid right there. It was perfect timing. I'm
I
like,
saw that
okay,
picture.
yeah,
That was awesome. That was you. That was so cool.
Yeah, I took a picture. I sent it to him. Like, look at.
And are you gonna want to breed those in the future, or just keep them as pets?
No, just keep those as pets. Yeah.
Nice. I hear they're really docile, and I've watched his videos and everything, and he's like, they're nice spiders,
Yeah, they're the best pet spider.
and they're like, aren't they the biggest within like leg span? Some of them.
So for huntsmans, yes, but the biggest leg span of a spider would be is called the Terribola Typostola barbata. It's the green belly huntsman spider. That's the Australian one.
Oh, okay. How big do those get?
I think about 10 inches leg span.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ooh, that's
But
insane.
that's nothing compared to a tarantula.
The tarantulas, they get heavy, right? They're heavy bodied.
Yes, depending on the species, but the biggest tarantula in the world is called the Goliath bird eater, which is the Theraphosa genus, and that's like the number one, like bigger than a dinner plate.
Are you gonna get one of those?
I have one.
You, of course, you have one. There's a bunch of. I had a salmon pink bird eating tarantula before, but it was a male, and then it only
Yeah,
lived for like 5 years.
yeah. I actually, Tom Patterson has one for me, so after I'm done here, I'm gonna go pick him up.
Oh, that's
A
awesome! I
male.
can't wait. I really want him on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
He's a top
definitely.
spider guy I know through the Facebook world.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get him on for you.
Thank you so much. That'd be amazing. Do you have anything else besides spiders?
Yes, I have feeder farms. I have a millipede, a North American millipede, a Asian forest scorpion named Adonis. He's a prince. I also have a crested gecko named Reptar and a veiled chameleon named Rocco. And I'm getting from Markham Reptiles my first ball python.
Ball python? Just a normal one?
He is 66% dream, orange dream het clown.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice. Orange dream will look
Orange.
real good.
Yes, he's gorgeous. He's
Are you,
small. So.
that's so cute. Are you gonna breed anything else besides spiders?
No, no, I
No.
don't think so. If I
Nice.
could, if I had the space, I probably would.
And you said you're gonna get some hog noses, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, I've always wanted one.
What
Always
kind are
wanted
you
one.
getting?
I like
Or do you,
the dark pattern ones.
the dark pattern ones?
Yeah, I'm not too sure on the morph, but um, I do like. Was it Enxantic? Enxantic?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that takes out all the yellow.
all the yellows. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So which one does the black, the dark ones?
So it'd probably be that, yeah, if it's Anzantic. Yeah, it takes out the yellows, the yellow part of it.
All
At
right. So
least that's
yeah.
how it works in water monitors. So,
Oh,
but I imagine that it's the same gene. So yeah, it just takes the yellow out, which would make it a darker animal.
perfect. That's the
That's
one I want.
awesome. Oh my gosh. Are you gonna get a male or female? I know the males are a lot smaller than the females.
Yes. Yeah. So I want a male. For all my animals, I've always want males because they're smaller. Like everything in animal world, the males are always smaller.
Except the king cobra.
True. 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 Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to get some. Okay. Yes. And that's all the venomous you're gonna get, right? Besides the
The
spiders and
the
then the hognose.
only yeah for a snake, the only one is that one. Yeah.
Are you gonna get any venomous lizards or anything?
You're becoming an enabler.
What? If you like spiders, you would like a Gila monster, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness! Don't tempt me. You're tempting.
I don't know if you've ever worked with them, but they're kind of small and they're really cool.
Oh,
No, I
I
like them
actually
a
saw
lot.
one today. I think.
Did you?
Oh no, that was aromastic. Never mind.
Those are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And then so you're at the New York show. What are some species they have there?
Oh my goodness. They have different lizards. They have monitors, aromastics. Um, they have leeches. Oh my god, they have leeches. Like
Yeah?
big leeches. Yeah. I love leeches too. So
Are
I
you
might
gonna
get leeches. I don't know. Not today, but
get
I love leeches.
I, I love
Yeah,
leeches.
yeah. They have more snakes than they do other things, but
Is it a
yeah.
lot of ball pythons or is there a good variety of stuff?
Oh yeah. They have a lot of ball pythons. So if you guys are in the area, come on in. You guys still have time till 4 o'clock. You see my watch, my
Uh-huh.
fake watch. It says four
Good watch.
till four.
And it's a 3 hour difference over here on the West Coast. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's what, 1 o'clock over there right now? That's crazy.
I think so.
The
Yeah.
time difference. I used to live in Hawaii too, so it even go back another 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's crazy. Yeah. Okay. And then at the show, because I'm not familiar with all the New York laws and everything, what
Yeah.
other animals do they have there? Do they have like exotic mammals or anything there?
Yeah, there's some exotic mammals here. I did see I think they're called like bush babies.
What? That's awesome.
I don't know if that I'm not sure. I'm not good on the mammals, but I saw
Right.
some little fur thing, so I don't know.
I know they have a lot of flying squirrels and stuff like that at the expos here.
Oh, over there?
Yeah.
Oh,
But a
okay.
bush baby would be really cool. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know the laws in New York. That's
So
crazy.
it's becoming a lot more because of the Lacey Act, and a lot of stuff has been messing around, and so it's kind of getting a little tight with that.
Do you know any future laws that might affect you that are coming about or brought up in
Yes,
discussion?
yes. Actually, for the tarantulas, there's a species called Poecilotheria vittata, and so that's the ghost ornamental tarantula, the Indian one.
Mhm.
And so right now with the Lacey Act and everything that's going on, that tarantula cannot be bought over state lines. So in order, if you want that one, it would have to be gifted or on a breeding loan, but you cannot buy it like So
That's
very
crazy.
strict, yeah.
And that's all across the United States or just that state?
So all across, yeah, now all across the United States, yeah.
That's crazy. And there's a few different kinds of ornamentals, right?
Yes, I think there's 6 species of Poecilotheria. Hold on, let me think. Metallica. Oh no, there's more. Oh my gosh, there's so much more. There's
I
a
know
lot.
the ghost one is one of my favorites.
Yeah, there's Metallica, Smithy, Miranda, Formosa. The common names. Don't ask me about the common names. Ask me about the scientific names because I got that.
I'm so bad at scientific names. My mom's asking, do all spiders have egg sacs and how long before hatching?
Yes. So depending on species, all spiders, tarantulas, they lay egg sacs. So when they're breeding or when they're mating, it takes about between. Sometimes you can get like a month into the mating, and they can lay a sac, or they could take a year. It all depends on the humidity and the environment, how they're kept. Yeah, so they all take a good amount of time to lay that egg sac because everything has to be like on point perfectly for them to lay that sac.
That's crazy. And then you said future breeder before. Have you bred anything now or currently or?
Yeah, so I've bred wolf spiders. Last year, I hatched out about 50 babies, 2 egg sacs, so 50 and 50, 100. So I had 200 wolf spiders, but I let them go because they're local, so I let them go. But I just sent over to California to Frank Chavez, Frank's Buggin 661. I'm actually wearing his merch, his bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent him over one of my male tarantulas, and he bred 3 females. And out of the three, two laid egg sacs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
you'll
I'm
have
getting
those.
some babies.
Yay.
I'm a
So you're
grandma.
a breeder. You're a
I'm a
breeder. You're not even
grandma.
a future breeder. You're a
Yeah.
current breeder.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then what are you selling at the show right now? You have a booth, right?
No, no, I'm not
No.
selling. No, no. I was just with a couple of friends at their booth.
Okay. And then you have
Yeah.
some of your animals there though?
Yes, I do. I have two. I got 2 tarantulas, and then the other ones Tom is holding for me. So.
Awesome. And are those just like show spiders or for people to hold or
The what?
are they like show spiders for people to hold or the ones that you brought? Or are
Oh
they ones
yeah,
that you
they're
bought?
no, they're my pets. They're from me.
Nice. Well, because you said you did spider therapy, so I don't know if people at the show were holding your spiders or whatnot.
Oh no. No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
So going back in your early days, I guess, have you always been with the exception of the predator thing? Have you always been into animals or the
Have I always
predator
been
thing, the
with the
alien thing?
animals?
Have you always been into animals? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Can you
Ever since I was 5 years
recall?
old.
Awesome. And then can you recall any animals you had growing up that
Yeah.
were
Yeah. So
memorable?
I had a German Shepherd when I was a kid, and my father, he always had animals in the house, whether it was fish tanks, dogs, birds. We always had birds. We always had animals in the house. But the biggest thing that we've always had was fishes, saltwater and freshwater fishes. And then his passion for animals just installed in me to have animals. So, yeah.
That's amazing. I love fish. Fish are probably my favorite animal out there.
Yeah.
And Shark Week starts on Sunday. So
Yeah.
everybody listening, Shark Week starts on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my mom, she studied marine biology and she knows everything about sharks. So
Oh my
her
gosh.
thing is sharks. My thing is like more exotic stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What? That's
Yeah.
so cool. So your mom was a marine biologist. Do you have any cool experiences about that growing up?
Any what?
Any cool experiences about that, like growing up? Like, did she ever take
No,
you out in the field to see anything or?
no. She studied, but she never really got into
Mm.
like progressing that field. So no. But every time we went to the beach, she was like, "This is that shark. That's this shark."
And then you said you had fish growing up. What kind of saltwater fish can you recall, or any freshwater fish you had growing up?
Um, yeah, we've always had tetras. We've always had catfish. We've always had eels. I love eels. We had a
That's
lot of eels.
awesome. We're
Yeah.
getting a Indian mud moray eel here in a few days. It's a
Oh,
brackish
cool.
water one. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's
No, no
yeah.
octopus.
I want an octopus. I
Oh, me
want one
too.
really bad actually. And then I look at the Singapore Aquarium and they do really good octopus research there. So I want
Okay.
an octopus because of them. Shark
Right.
Week is Mark's favorite holiday. Yes, it is. Shark Week.
Yeah.
And it was the same year I was born too, 1988.
Really?
Uh-huh. And then we got somebody asking so many babies at once. How much room do you need for all the babies?
Okay. So deli cups is gonna be your best friend for the
Okay.
babies. Yeah. So baby spiders, they're called slings or spider slings. And so when you're breeding and separating the babies from the egg sac, you can put them in little deli cups. And then afterwards, when they're like of age, they'll be fine in jam files. They'll be fine in a small deli cup or whatever. Because in reality, in the wild, tarantulas and spiders, they don't need that much space. You can have a tarantula in one spot and they'll be there for like years. They really don't need that much space. And to be honest with you, tarantulas prefer a small, tight space. Yeah. But of course, you want to give them the world, you know? So,
I think your mom's on. She's mama in the house, shark lady here.
oh, okay. Hi.
I want to have her on the podcast for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yo, she
Oh
can
my.
tell you everything about sharks.
Yes, please. We'll sit there and talk about sharks. That's amazing. And I want to learn a lot more about them.
That's your girl.
Wow. Okay, and we have Brian that asks, if a tarantula has a problem molting, how do you help it?
Yeah, so tarantulas, like all animals, they can either get infections and other diseases. So tarantulas, they actually get this thing called DKS, dyskinetic syndrome, dyskinetic nerve syndrome. And what that does is it's a neurologic thing that happens either between, it could happen because of chemical imbalance or chemical, like in the air, something in the air. And so what that causes seizures. And sometimes it's hard to help them. But there's a but. I don't know if you know Tarantula Guy 1977 on YouTube.
Uh-uh.
No? Okay, so he has a video on YouTube. He's actually helped a few people because of his video. So if you get CBD oil and you put it in the water, like you put them in ICU, it helps them. And that actually happened to one of my tarantulas from impaction.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just stick some CBDs in there and it helps.
Yep. CBD
That's
oil, they'll be okay, hopefully.
Hopefully. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ah, and you said diseases. What kind of diseases? And do you have to quarantine any new spiders you get in?
Yeah. So tarantulas can also get sugar mites. I don't know what they're called. They're called different things around the world, but so these sugar mites, they stick to the mouth of the tarantula. They're like nematodes, basically. That's what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can get mites from if you get them from the wild. Please don't do that. Please don't get any tarantulas from the wild. Please get them captive bred. That's the best thing to do. But yeah, they can get nematodes if they're not kept properly. If you get them from the wild, or if you get them from a show, and you may never know what kind of diseases everything has. So you always want to do a little quarantine when you bring them home, and just keep an eye on them.
What's your protocols for quarantine?
My quarantine is basically an ICU. So what I do is I have like a Tupperware, no substrate for like if it's a small tarantula, I won't do a substrate for like a few hours. So I'll just put it like a damp paper towel, and then a small water dish, and I'll just keep an eye on it for a few hours. And then after that, I'll transfer them into like a low substrate barrier, so they have some substrate, and for like a day, and then I'll transfer them to their final home, basically.
That's awesome. And you breed your own food?
Yes, I have
What do you
superworms, mealworms, dubia roaches. I've tried the crickets. I got like maybe like 1 inch, and then they died.
The crickets are hard.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
keep them alive for like a few weeks, but that's about it.
yeah.
And
It's
then
so
what are
hard.
you breed all the other bugs? Like how do you do that? How do you breed all your bugs?
So for the superworms, I actually just keep them in a big tub of substrate and let them do their thing.
That's awesome. And then you
Yeah.
just switch it out. Do you ever get beetles or
Do that the beetles?
yeah, do you ever get beetles? Like you have to switch. I know you have to like pull out beetles
Yeah.
and do all that stuff and
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I keep them all in the same
oh,
thing. Yeah. It's like nature. Let them do their thing.
and you do that with the superworms and mealworms?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And
But
then you do
separate.
that with your roaches as well too. I
Yeah.
guess everybody does.
Yeah.
I breed hybrid roaches. I have dubia and then giant cave roaches hybrids, and then so you get a bigger roach product,
That's
and then you
awesome.
can feed your animals. Yeah, it's really cool. And then I also breed giant cave roaches as well. So I have like every single size of roach, especially for the lizards.
Whoa.
Then I'm sure the bigger three. What's that?
Have you ever seen the roaches in like different countries? How big they are?
Uh huh. Yeah, I have the big South American giant ones that are like huge.
Yeah.
And then I mix them in with dubia roaches, and they look the same. They're just half the size, but they're still double the size of a normal male dubia roach. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And then I
That's
haven't found many hybrid roaches out there, and I'm trying to get a death head roach in there too, and make a triple hybrid roach, just for a bigger food source too. I don't know.
That'd be awesome. Have you ever seen the emerald green roach?
Uh.
Oh man, they're beautiful.
Do they climb glass?
They're really shiny. They're green, really tiny. They're shiny. They look like jewels.
That's so pretty. And so
Hmm.
you like bugs, I imagine, too. Do you have any pet bugs?
Pet bugs, yes. I
Yeah.
actually have a hisser cockroach named Hannibal, and he's my only hisser that I. He's my only one, and I love him.
Are you gonna get any more bugs in the
Yeah,
future?
yeah. So I don't know if you know Cedric, Chief Sweets Universe.
Mm-mm.
No, okay. So he's big on YouTube.
Okay.
He's sending me some Halloween hissers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many different kinds of hissers. I went to a show a few months ago, and there was a guy strictly selling hissers,
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
didn't realize how many different kinds there were. And there were some big ones, like the heaviest roaches in the world are some of those
Yep,
hissers.
the Madagascar ones. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, this is insane. And we got a few different pairs, but I don't think anything came of them. But I
Yeah,
saw all the big ones, and the Halloweens were there too.
yeah. They're so pretty.
And are you just gonna breed those for food or pets?
Both, maybe both.
Nice, that's
Sorry, mom.
awesome. Sorry, Mom. Does she like roaches? Do the spiders have personality?
So tarantulas, they cannot be tamed. However, they do have muscle memory, and they can recognize it. Like if you have a constant routine with them, they can recognize it, but they don't know who you are. They cannot show love, even though as delusional as we are and we want to believe that they love us, they cannot. But however, they do have muscle memory.
I always explain to everybody, I'm like, they don't have a brain, but they have a brain stem.
Right.
Is that true?
A brain stem. So they
Yeah.
have a collective, a collective and selective hemolymph. So their blood is not blood; it's called hemolymph. So their
Explain. Let's
brain
hear
is
this.
actually, yeah. So their brain is not actually a brain; it's more of a nervous system, basically.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh. And it just
Yeah.
goes off muscle memory. So how do they process like smells and
Through
touch and all that
vibrations.
stuff?
Yeah, through vibration. So all tarantulas, they have these hairs called setae, and these hairs are basically like whiskers,
Okay.
basically. Yeah. So all those individual little hairs, they pick up sound and vibration and helps them recognize their surrounding, their area.
That's crazy. And then I know most old world species don't shoot hairs, right?
Not true. So there are some old worlds that do have. Well, all tarantulas possess these hairs, but old world, their hairs are not used as much. So
Okay.
it's the new world tarantulas that have these eradicating hairs that they
Okay.
use as a defense mechanism.
I have a pair of Venezuelan sun tiger tarantulas, and I know they don't shoot hairs.
Yeah, yeah. So they have hairs on their chelicerae, and because they don't have hair, their venom, although new world, their venom is more medically significant. They have a more equivalent venom potency as an old world.
That's scary. And I'll hold her on my hand too. I have a big female. I'll just hold her on my hand.
Oh my
It's scary.
gosh.
I think she's sitting on an egg sac right now. I should go look, but and I'm
Yeah.
not like an expert at breeding spiders at all. I just put them together and
Send them to me.
I should, yeah. I get a lot of spiders and too. People donate spiders a lot too.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
or like the fires that we have. We have a lot of fires over here on the West Coast, so a lot of people will send tarantulas over here. There was one time a few months ago that somebody sent a whole collection over here, and I had absolutely no idea what I was looking at because nothing was labeled. So we had to go through it all and kind of identify it, and like
Right.
it was scary. I had like an orange baboon go across the floor, and I'm like putting my hand out, just stop it. And I'm like, I know these have medically significant venom, but I don't know how medically significant, and it stopped
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people worry that, oh, the venom is going to kill me. No, you cannot die from a tarantula bite. You can get seriously sick, but it's not going to kill you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're not going to die. You're going to get a really big, big swollen hand, and you're going to
Yeah.
feel it for a few weeks, but nothing to be
So
worried about.
so it's like we have what brown recluses and all the black widows and stuff here, and like all the widows. Are those anything to be worried about if you get bit in North America?
No, no, actually, no. So there's been a lot of reports where people say, "Oh, I got bit by a brown recluse and it's eating away my flesh." No, 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 no. That's the most misidentified spider bite in the world, next to the six-eyed sand spider, where their venom is necrotic and they cause necrotic, you know. But that's not actually true. So what causes the necrosis is bacteria. So bad bacteria. As soon
Hmm.
as like you get that spider bite, what's the first thing your wound touches? Air and bacteria. So the white blood cells are being attacked, and the first thing that it's touching is bacteria. So that builds up like in a millisecond. So that's what happens. Like as soon as you get that bite and you don't treat it,
That's
that's
crazy. Is there any this is a weird question. Is there any anti-venom for spiders out there? I know there's like funnel web anti-venom, right?
yes, yes. So I actually spoke to Emma Tinney from Australia Park Zoo, from the zoo in Australia.
Okay.
And so she, with a team, they work to get anti venom in Australia for Sydney funnel webs.
That's
and
crazy.
they're saving lives. It's so incredible.
Does the So you said there's no life-threatening tarantulas. Is there life-threatening spiders?
Yes, so there's three actually. The Brazilian wandering spider, but I'll talk about that last because that's very interesting to talk about. Okay, so we have the six-eyed sand spider. Um, that is very very hot. So just don't try and handle it. Just don't. Um, that's the one that lives in the sand. I don't know if you've
And
ever
it just
seen
comes
that.
up and scurries up. I think I saw a video
Yeah,
Victor had, and I think he had some for sale.
yeah, that and the Sydney funnel web. Also the mouse spider. Anything really in Australia has a really high medically significant,
Of course.
potency. But the Brazilian wandering spider. So there's a lot of Brazilian wandering spiders. That's like the common name. But there's one specific wandering spider that can potentially kill you if you don't seek medical attention. But before you're like, if you were to get bit by it, before you die, I know this is a PG show, but
No, you get an erection.
yes, they
I
can
heard
get
about
yes,
this.
yeah.
PG
So
show. It's like PG-13,
yeah,
sometimes rated R. It's fine.
no. I'm trying to keep it like worded as a PG thing, but by human biology, that's what happens when you get bit by a Brazilian wandering spider.
That's crazy. And then you die.
Yeah,
Is
then
that
you die.
considered a happy death?
Yeah, basically.
So you're saying the black widow venom isn't bad for humans? What did I miss? LOL. I'm not a scientist or nothing, but it seems more bad bites from spiders that resulted in treatment.
Yeah. So, for those of you watching, I highly suggest you go get this book called The Brown Recluse by Richard Vedder. So this book is not only based on the brown recluse, but it has a whole bunch of information on different spider venom and how it acts to the body, and just it's an amazing book. Please go get it. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon.
And it's about spider venom?
It's by spider venom. Yep, all
That's
types of spider venom.
amazing. I
Yeah,
love venom. I mean, I have like cobras and rattlesnakes and kaboom vipers, so venom really fascinates me.
yeah, I love that book.
That's so cool. And are you planning on getting any of those dangerous species or highly venomous species in the future?
Yeah, I actually want a black widow. I don't want to breed black widows, but I want one, just so I can study it and yeah.
Are you going to get a wandering spider
No,
or a funnel web?
no,
That's all.
no.
And then you said you have scorpions. Are you
Yeah,
gonna get into scorpions anytime soon?
I have an Asian forest scorpion, but I'm not really too much in the scorpions, but I do love them.
Nice. And is
Yeah,
there anything else you're passionate about, like close to spiders?
close to spiders. Besides true spiders, I do. It's not for everyone, but I do like
Yeah,
trapdoor
that's
spiders.
awesome.
Yeah,
And there's
so
a
there's this. Uh-huh.
I was gonna say there's a bunch of different species.
Yeah, so there's this one called the cookie butt. It looks like an Oreo cookie, and it's really like their abdomen is round.
I think I've seen
And
it. It almost looks like a candle stamp or something, right?
yes,
I've seen pictures of those.
yeah, it's so interesting.
And
Yeah,
that's what. Are you gonna breed those?
no, no,
No, just have them as pets.
yeah, just for the experience, see how it works.
And oh, Brian's from Sky's the Limit Network. What's the difference between New World and Old World? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, so New World are all tarantulas that don't have medically significant venom, and they live in all of the Americas, so America and South America, and they have eradicating hairs. So their hairs, they use those hairs as a defense mechanism. Yeah, and then Old World are all the tarantulas from Europe, Australia, the Asian islands, all that side. Oh, and Africa, all that side. And their venom has more potency, but you won't die.
That's crazy. Okay, and then speaking of like spiders, how long do they live, or do they have like a lifespan kind of thing, or
Yeah, so all of them are depending on the species. You can have a tarantula that can live up to 40 years, 50, and
what?
some that can live up to like 6 months to a year.
What's the oldest tarantula you know or heard of?
The Theraphosis, they world record actually last year I saw one that was over 40 years, and it was a female.
What? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
What's the
And
oldest one you have?
the oldest one I had is the Theraphosis, my Goliath bird eater. She's about, I'll say about 15 years old right now. Yeah,
That's
15.
crazy. And then
Yeah.
males don't live very long, right? They live like
So before they mature out, they can have a long lifespan. So once they mature out, that means they get their sex organs. And so once they have those, they have a time limit up to like 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year from when they get the organs.
Yeah, and also depending on the species. So you can have like a mature male that lasts 3 years.
Wow, that's fascinating. You
Yeah.
have so much knowledge on everything. That's crazy.
I try. I learn. It's a continuous thing. You don't stop learning.
No, and that's why the podcasts are great too. And you have your own podcast too, so you have a lot of people on your show.
Yeah, I actually have a PhD doctor coming on August.
What? That's awesome. What does he study?
He's arachnology. He's a arachnologist, entomologist.
Nice. Does he have any like specialties in it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot the name, but yeah, yeah,
Don't
he
be
does.
sorry.
Yeah, he has his own page and everything.
That's awesome. And what would you say, like, if I had to bring people on this podcast, what are some of the role models you looked up to?
Okay. I have Tom Patterson, Hardcore Arachnids. There's also Juice from Juice's Arthropods. He's one. And then this is a no-brainer, but Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. That's amazing. Yeah, I love that guy. And I
Yeah.
live in Oregon, so the Irwins will come to Oregon here, and they'll be like at the aquarium or down at the coast, or it's crazy. And
Yeah.
I actually have a snake. I have a Taiwanese beauty snake, and it was the grandmother of that snake was the first snake Bindi Irwin ever got bit by. And then
What?
my friend down here at Brad's World has an alligator him and Steve bought together, and you can like hold it and everything. It's a really calm alligator. It's weird.
Wow.
And it's like 30 years old. It's stunted in growth, but it's like 30 years old. I'm like, that's crazy.
What's the oldest reptile you have in your zoo?
Mine, I have a 30-year-old ball python.
30
And then I
years.
have, yeah, they'll live 50 plus. And I have Dumerals boas. I have two big females that are like 24 and 26. But I have nothing over 30. I have a lot of stuff in its 20s and
Okay.
then a lot lower. Yeah. I have a sulcata tortoise that's about 11 and they'll live 200 years. So that's getting
Yeah.
willed. And then, yeah, some of the bigger snakes, like the biggest one I have is 18 feet and she's about 11 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that about the ball pythons that they can.
Oh, yeah. They can live a long time and people just breed them like they're candy or, something. And I'm like, all these animals have the potential to live 50 plus years. And that's what I always tell people because I'll get ball pythons in a lot.
Yeah.
And I try to find them homes. I try to just get them out there, and I don't even sell them because it's easier to find like a good free home for them than it is to sell it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they live a long time, and I let people know that.
Wow. They.
Kat, you're a beautiful woman. How do people react when they learn you raise spiders?
Oh my goodness. That's. Thank you. Well, ever since I was a kid, actually in school, kids were afraid of me. I was like that Egyptian goth kid in school, and so they were afraid of me. But like whenever they saw a spider, they'd be like, "Hey, cat, can you go get that spider?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I got it." But no, this I think the reason why I'm single is because I deal with these animals, and like you hardly don't see people be like, "Oh, hey, can I get your number? What do you do? Whatever." And then I say, "Well, I deal with this stuff," and they're like, "Okay, bye, bye."
I breed spiders.
Yeah, they're like, okay, bye, peace out then.
That's crazy. I was a chef for the last 16 years, so I have like a normal world as I call it, and then I have the animal world, which is not normal
Yeah,
to most people, but it's normal to me. I'm like, you don't have a cobra or something, like what? It's weird.
yeah.
Or a lizard, like a big monitor lizard or something.
Hmm. Oh,
Uh,
I actually got to hold one of the tegus today.
yeah.
Yeah, from
What kind
House of
was it?
Tegu.
What kind was it?
I don't know. It was a small one though.
What color?
It was a black and white,
Nice.
blue, blue
Black and white,
something.
yeah. Probably an Argentine black and white.
Probably.
My
I don't know.
son's had one for a while. He's had an Argentine and black and white pet for a while. His name's Jojo. But he's had him
Oh,
ever since he was 3. And we got him in as an adult, and then he just kind of grew up with him.
that's so
But it's really cute.
cute.
Are you going to get a Tegu in the future?
Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I want to.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll keep it on the back burner. Rhino
Yeah,
iguanas are really good too, just for your information.
yeah, right. I mean,
And I
the House of Tegus, he did say he's gonna hold one for me in the future. So
Nice. I like the Tegus because you don't see them during the wintertime. They're asleep for like 3 to 4 months. You're like, cool. I don't have to deal with an animal 3 to 4 months. It's crazy.
yeah, like right, brumation, is that what it's called?
Uh-huh. Brumation, yeah. And he came out late this year too, so I was like, all right, cool. It works.
Yeah.
And then all the tortoises and everything will go in brumation too. Oh, that's awesome. All right. We're getting up to 45 minutes right now. Is there anything you want to say to the camera before we start wrapping up the show?
Yeah. I always like to have this positive outlook on on the hobby and the community. To everyone, please do your research on whatever animal that you're interested in. Please do your research on it before you bring it home. Be kind to others, and any information that you get or someone tells you, hey, this is this animal and this is what it needs. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions, and just go out there, be productive, and be nice to animals, because they're here for a short time. And what we do in the hobby and what we do in the community is to save their lives. And we try to save the species. So that's what we want to do. So continue and spread that word.
Yay. And if people have any questions, can they get a hold of you?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Instagram, Arachnicat.
Perfect. And what are other places they can find you at?
I do have Facebook, but I'm not really on it as much. So I do have a TikTok, Arachnicat, but you can find me more on Instagram, and also on my YouTube from Untamed and Unhitched Reptiles Web Wonders. Tuesday nights, yeah, 7.
Cool. Tuesday nights. Are they always live?
Yep, always live.
Yay, Tuesday nights. I do show up a lot. I didn't know they were Tuesday nights though. So that's good
Yeah,
to
so
know.
my shows are on Tuesdays. Starting in September, it's going to be on Wednesdays. Yeah. Oh, did you
Awesome.
froze? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. You're back. Cool. All right. Well, Arachnid Cat, everybody, and thank you so much for coming on. And you're amazing. And we'll talk more backstage.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'll see you backstage.
Okay.
What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Reptile. Know me, Reptile.